Michael, can you?
Yeah.
Can you right now just talk to me?
What?
Can you talk to me calmly?
What?
Well, why were you getting like that?
Because I get frustrated.
What frustrated you, me talking about how you were getting abusive a few days ago and the notes I took about it? What was frustrating to you?
Everything.
Then you tell me I need to change, that I interpret things differently.
Yeah, you do sometimes.
That I see everything as abuse.
Yes,
That's
you do.
That's because you've abused me for over 2 years, and then you say now you realize it, even though I've told you. And you say you've changed, but how you were getting is not. How you were getting is not changing. Do you see that?
Yeah, and I realize that.
Talking about my feelings and what you've done to me is not provoking you. But then you say you weren't raising your voice, and the way you got is not. Change would have been, let's just talk about this.
I tried.
If something hurts me, but it's things you've done over and over, and you say it wasn't abuse, you didn't try to hurt me, you wouldn't be facing those charges, the whatever disorderly and the battery, if you were. And then you say call your mom, and over say I'm gonna just go out there.
Well, you were the one that said you would let you talk, that you were gonna talk to her.
What I would tell your mom is that you and I are two adults, and yes, you say you're working on trying to control.
Yeah, and everybody says when the situations get like they were, to separate. Take the day away, take the night away, take a week away.
And you've done that before. Except the police removed you for 2 days, and then you've done that before. But there's other times where you just use it and say, I'm gonna leave. And you told me, I don't know about your laundry. I don't know about your food.
Well, all that's done. Your laundry's all upstairs.
The way you got is still the same as you got back then. Nothing has changed. And it's like I'm not even allowed to talk about, maybe I'm not allowed because you are the abuser and I am the abused. I am your victim. So trying to talk to you about you abusing me maybe is just not going to work. Have you tried to stay calm? Yeah, and I said try again because you've already used those phrases. And saying I need to change, I raised my voice. Yeah, I didn't raise my voice until you were raising yours more. But But the way you were getting is abusive. If you use a different tone, if you raise your voice, if you do that to try to control what I do.
I wasn't trying to control anything. I've never tried to control you.
By telling me to not talk about things, it was a week ago that you said things. And now what you did just happened. And now you're calm. Now you're calmed down. But now you have your mom wondering if she needs to get you or not. But now you can talk calmly. Self-control means in the situation you calm down. But there was no reason for you to even get abusive or upset or anything, because I was talking to you about your abuse. Just like when I read the Lundy book, you said that was attacking you. If I'm talking to you about my feelings or what you've done to me, and you abuse me further, that just shows me that why would you need the change? You can just go to your mom's anytime. Michael.
What?
Do you see what you were doing is abuse? It's not my interpretation. It's not an accident.
People argue. People raise their voice.
I know people argue and they raise their voice sometimes.
But if the slightest tone change or anything, if I don't agree with you on something, I'm being abusive.
That wasn't a slight tone change. That was you raising your voice, and you did slam the door, and then you kept going. And then blaming me. What do you need you don't need to change anything. You're getting like this. You brought it up. It started out me talking about your abuse, and all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but then it gets turned, it's deflective. You deflect it. Yes, now you are in control. But you were in control when you slammed the door. You were in control when you were raising your voice. And if you can't see when your own voice raises, if you can't tell this or this, if you can't do that, yes, people argue, but the reason you got arrested and you're facing jail time is not from arguments.
No, it isn't.
And you even wrote on a list, I will watch my tones, I will, and you don't. And then you say you've tried. And you've told me, because I've been abused before, that's why I see what you do as abuse. It's because I've been abused before. from you. But yes, I've changed. Like, that's why I said try again, because you've already said those things. And you said when my foot gets healed, I'm just gonna leave. You don't like that I'm getting more independent.
Yes, I do. I'm glad. I'm happy.
Because
when will you realize that I'm happy for you?
If I lived on my own, I'd be in more pain. You've told me that.
Yeah, that was before you had the orthotics. That was before you were moving around and doing more things. And what happened? Yesterday you went and walked around. Today you have more pain now, right? So was I wrong? No, I wasn't.
This is not about my pain. I've accepted that might be in pain walking the rest of my life. That's fine. This is about me talking about your behavior from even within a week.
Well, then don't bring up if you lived alone you'd be in more pain. Because that's what I was interpreting it or trying to portray to you.
I can't bring up anything. I can't bring up something you did yesterday. Because that's attacking you. Instead of, yes, let's talk about this. Let's talk about my feelings. Let's talk about what happened. Let's just be adults about this and
I try.
And just talk about it.
And I try to talk about it with you. But like I said, if I say something you don't want to hear, it's abuse. Or if I try to explain my side of it, you don't have any part of it. It's just abuse. Yeah, and I understand that I'm facing abuse charges and the cops were called because of it, but every conversation or every disagreement is not abuse. And that's why I get frustrated. And that's why I raise my voice. Because it's like you don't hear what I have to say.
What are you saying? What don't I hear?
What I just said. Or if I try to explain myself or my side, it's poor Mikey or this and that. Or you know exactly what you're doing.